Okay, so this is Rescue Rogers. I started that thread about quick jacks and lifting cars with no weight in the nose. So this could probably apply to any lift, but the way the Corvette's set up, you know, fiberglass nose is a little bit light. Just wanted you guys to be aware. So this is a 68. I've got all the front suspension off, so no A-arms, no steering, no brakes, springs, none of that. And I've got full tank of gas in the back. So it's a 68, so it could be 18 gallon, could be 20 gallon. Up here in the nose, I've got some calipers sitting up here for just a little counterbalance weight. Let me pull those out. Pay no attention to the Bubba cuts. I haven't welded that back together yet. So while I'm doing this, you can see a quick little tour of my freshly painted engine compartment. Excited about that. So you can see there's nothing in here. Absolutely nothing down in there. So and most of the parts are sitting everywhere in here. So no weight on the nose. I'm gonna show you from back here. I said if you let's see here, just set up. So I've got this set up because the way my garage is set up, when you I have the tail of the car close to the door. When it goes up, it goes forward. So when it's down on the ground, I can get past the nose pretty easy. When I'm climbing underneath the car, I don't really need as much weight, room in the front, so it goes up and forward. So that being said, watch the lift down at the bottom. Watch the nose of the car. At one point, it'll come up, and then when I stop the lift, it'll actually start to bounce. So the majority of the weight of the car, the ass end, it's sitting right in about here. So there's no transmission in there. You know, obviously no engine. So here we go. See the front of the lift coming up? So you can see a gap under there. I'll go up a little bit higher. Goes up even more. Okay, so you can see the back of it is pretty much, it's pivoting right here, right now. So there's a gap right underneath here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a gap right up underneath here. So all the weight is right here. So you can see it down there. You've got 4 inches or so off the ground. So just putting a little bit of weight on the bumper. You just got 2 fingers in each hand. It goes right down. So if I let it go, it goes back up. I just take those calipers, put them back in the nose. So just 2 calipers. What's that, a total of between 40 and 60 pounds, however much they weigh. So you can see that pretty much holds the nose down there. Still see a bit of a gap, but at that point I can go, I feel, I've done this a couple of times, I'm safe with it going up because the weight's moving forward now, and you'll see the gap at the front of the lift just disappear as it settles on the ground. So I'm not making this video to bash Quick Jack or anything like that. This is the only jack system I ever owned. I think it's the greatest thing ever. I've worked in some shops growing up as a kid that had different lift systems, so I'm familiar with lifts. But for my garage, what I have, what I can afford, these things are the best. So I just wanted to keep you guys from getting yourselves into trouble unwittingly, as I almost did. So let's see. See it's sitting on the ground. It's still pretty stable. Give it a little. So give it a little shake. Nothing's going on. It's not going anywhere. So just be aware. If it happens to you, just you want to check your pucks. Make sure they're in there. Make sure the back ones didn't shift. The front ones will be the ones that I'd worry about the most. Go around the nose here. Okay. I'm not a great videographer, so sorry for everything shaking and moving. But, so I'm going to put this back down on the ground here. That way your video can be over and you guys can get back to whatever you're doing. So, down nice and slow. Oh, here's something. If you guys decide to do what I've been doing with these, took the nice rims off. I just got some old rallies on it, sitting on some Harbor Freight dollies, and I just got some old rubber strips that I sit it on. Just be aware of your, see how close that is? So you don't want your spring, I've got a monoleaf, you don't want your spring kissing this puppy down here. So just pay attention to that. But for getting the car around, I decided to go this way. I didn't want to leave the new tires and wheels on it. I didn't want to get flat spots or anything like that. So let's go finish going down. See it bouncing a little bit there. So just make sure, yeah, we're all set. And bottom it out here. Settle it down. So if I was gonna seat this for the night, I'd take some jack stands, put them up in the front under the frame there with some padding on them, and then just lower this all the way to the ground. So let's see, get down. Let's sit a little bit lower. Okay, so that's the end of that. So if you want to hang around for a second, I'll give you a quick little tour of the garage here. So, not a big place, but it's home. I love this place. So, I've got, you can see, radiator up here. Got my 68. Hood's back here on the door. Then along that wall, that shelf over there, I've got my new cam heads, some carburetors. For along that wall, I've got all the shelving underneath is all tools. Got some of the parts I've been painting. I've just been getting out of the way as I've been working on other projects. Then you move around the front, you got a blast cabinet over here, my heater in the corner, another work table, a lot of VHT paint. I really love that stuff. It doesn't chip. Actually has some decent colors in it now. This is burnt copper, obviously the shields. And over here, this is VHT cast iron. So you can see that. Let's see. So that's cast iron VHT with a coat of clear on it. So that's going to be my front end. My let's see, the spindles over here, and this is the brake caliber bracket, and then I've got to go through the bell housing there. I've been cleaning up all the parts. You can see these are the new Moog ball joints. Painted those. those are all copper. I mean the cast iron. They're gonna go on the VB&P front end. That's why the front end's out. I got the springs over here. Bought those off of you guys at the forum. This is all the parts that I took out of the car that are going back in. Intake, Bilsteins. That's all the parts out of the engine down there. And then this is my new baby. I got to try and stuff in there. V-gate for my. I got the M20 down here. So the M20's underneath there, down there. It's all rebuilt and cleaned up. This is an old Muncie. I got to clean up and probably rebuild that one too. This will be this one's an M21. That was an M21 under there, but it's now an M20. And then the motor's over there. So another project that you guys might like, and found. You see this up here? I got 3 I-beams for $100 off of Craigslist. So it's stuffed up into the ceiling. It sits on the wall joist here. So you got that right there. So that's hanging a foot over that on that side, and it goes all the way over. It's sticking out that side. I got some insulation stuffed up in there, but on that I-beam, you can see I've got a dolly up there, and then I've got this I-beam bolted to that. So I got all 3 of these I-beams. It was only $100 total. So that runs down there. So that's 15, 16 feet long, I think, 14 feet long. And then, yeah, maybe 16. So then I've got some trolleys. This one I got at a yard sale, dirt cheap. But, see, so I've got this one. I use this one for lifting the hard top off. And that one down there. This one I used on my, for lifting the engine out. So it's an engine hoist from Harbor Freight. And it's mounted on, again, some Harbor Freight trolleys. And so this thing here, it's made as an engine hoist. It's not made as a winch. So when it comes up here, it'll kick this and shut it off. They're, God, 180, 200 bucks. You can get them all in different weights. So the way when you buy these, it'll give you a weight rating, and they have this one pulley. So every time you go through a pulley and double it, you're doubling the weight capacity. So I think this was a 440 straight pull. If you run it through one pulley, it's 880, I think it was. And I built this system up so that it would slow it down. So I've got it going through like 4 pulleys total, 3 pulleys total. 3 pulleys, so I think it comes out to be like a 4-to-1 lift ratio, so it slows it down significantly. But the nice thing about this is it's on an XY axis, so I can slide this puppy, slide all the way down there, and then I can run this pulley left and right too, so I could pull the motor and put it anywhere I need it in the garage. So I've seen there was a couple of guys on the forum that had something set up like that, so I thought I'd steal that from you guys as well. So that's a tour of the shop. Hopefully I'll see you guys out there in the spring. Have a good day. Bye.